Check. All right, we'll see if this goes live here pretty soon. Trying to see if I can get everything going and rocking and rolling. Hope everything is coming through. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a good week so far. We've got been a hectic few days here, but hopefully everything's straightening around now. So my wife says we are on. So we got Deborah's here. What's up, Deborah? Got Ricky. What's up, Ricky? Got my wife. She is here. Awesome. I've been trying to adjust some cameras some more, trying to work on that. Don't know if it's doing any better, but the picture don't look too bad. So anyway, been a crazy few days here. We had our main water break coming to the house, so had to deal with that last couple days. Got that going now, so I've got I wrote down last week, I got the Baja bugs, I got the Baja breakers, or most of them out. I don't have them all out, but I got quite a few of them out. Got some convertibles out, but I didn't have a chance to get up and get the revealers. So that's some stuff we'll go out this week. Like I said, I hope everything, um, let a couple people get in here and we'll get started in something. Is there anything, y'all find anything this weekend? I went to the Nashville flea market. It was pretty sparse there, I think because we were having tax-free weekend here. I don't know if anybody remembers the old Pizza Hut cups. I picked up one of those this weekend. And so anyway, let's see. Randy's here. What's up, Randy? Tool time. What's going on? We are having a crazy, crazy few days, but we are trying to straighten everything around, getting everything started. So, like I said, what I did was this weekend I picked up a few odd and ends. We'll go over that in a few minutes. I did get some of the Baja bugs together. Did get the Baja breakers together. And some of the convertibles. I could not find all the convertibles. I hadn't been up to the shop yet. So, but anyway, if anybody knows much about these big potato heads, I picked up another one. That's my second one I've got now. And inside him was these two other small ones. I don't know if they're supposed to go together or somebody just shoved them in there or not. But ended up picking up the big potato head this weekend for like $10. But then there was two other potato heads inside there. I don't know if y'all can see those or not. Not that it's no big deal, but they're pirate themed, like potato heads or whatever. And then I had somebody there offering 2 for 1, or $2 a piece on some Hot Wheels that we had seen. And he had these two. He actually said $2 a piece or 3 for 5. So picked up a couple more tattoo machines. I don't know if everybody remembers tattoo machines or not. But Daddy was looking around too, and we ended up getting this era. I don't know if you've seen this. Let me bring it back. Got an era here. Got the front wheels black instead of chrome like it's supposed to be, and it's actually a different front wheel. I haven't figured out the focus yet on this. I hadn't had a chance to sit down and look at it much this week. Been pretty busy. But anyway, that was pretty cool on the Diora there. It's actually Diora 3. So I went ahead and picked it up. Like I said, he was $2 a piece, 3 for 5. So I picked up those 3. And if y'all remember the tattoo machines, there was 12 total, I think. This is like one half of one of the sets. I've got the other sets somewhere, probably up in the shop still. Try to see if I can get it up there where y'all can see it. I don't know if y'all can remember these or not, but that was like the special edition package. They had 2 different sets where you could get the full collection. I've got them loose, and I've got them in the package also somewhere. I think most of the loose ones are over there, but the only reason I've left this out is because right there is one of the Bajas that we'll talk about here in a little bit, and I've got a loose one over here. But anyway, that's just a roundabout. That's all the Hot Wheels. No, I take it back. I picked up those Hot Wheels, and then I picked up. A woman had put these out, and she had some of her black boxes, and she's like, half price on all the black boxes. So for $6, I could not pass the cool Corvettes there. She had a couple more sets. The box were pretty rough. I think these will be cool loose anyway. But anyway, I picked that up for $6. I'm gonna buy those all day long. Those 100% are just really cool. So, but anyway, I went ahead and picked it up. And I'll let y'all guess. Anybody remember what this is? I'll let y'all comment, or somebody can comment before I tell you what that is if y'all don't remember. But I picked this up also this weekend. Let me catch up with the chat while y'all are telling me what's going on. Chris, hey, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you here. Daddy's here. That's everybody's saying. I never knew any that didn't get ripped open, Randy said. So, anyway, like I said, anybody remember what this is, let me know in the comments, because I knew what it was right off the bat because I have one of my originals when I was a kid, but I couldn't leave it. He throwed it in on the deal. And that's pretty much a couple other things I picked up at the flea market this weekend. Is I went ahead and bought this set. I had never seen one of these Coca-Cola sets made by Remco. And this was made in 1989. It's got a Fox body Mustang right there. It's got some kind of either a Ford Ranger or an S10 there, kind of truck, and of course your big rig, Coke machines. So I've never seen this set before, so I went ahead and picked it up too. Just something different. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's ever remember these, the Looney Tune balls from back in the day. I think this one's dated 1994 there, but that's the Tasmanian Devil as a football. He let me have that for $1. I was like, I'm not going to let it sit there for $1. It's too cool. So I picked it up too. Let me see. Let me look at the chat real quick and I'll get back over. Chris says, car wax not ringing a bell. I'll show you. I don't know if that helps or not. Anyway, this is a Micro Machines, one of the sets that look like the piece of car wax they were called the Super Auto Supplies back in the day, and I had all of these different ones when I was a kid. And I think I've still got them up in the shop. My mom kept all the toys I had up in the attic, and I've actually got all of my Micro Machine stuff. So I had this, had a big battery that turned into a kind of distributor cap. I had an oil can. There was a lot of different ones of these, and these were just right up my alley. But anyway, you just convertible back into a car wax whenever you're not using it. It's pretty cool. I couldn't leave it. He threw that in too. I think I got $1 or $2 in that, but I couldn't leave it. Something different. Well, it ain't really that different for most of y'all. Y'all know me. I've never seen anything like this Trans Am. Some of y'all may know what this is. I don't even know. I know that I was looking at the bottom and it says that Mego makes it. Try to see if I can get it in there where you can see it. But Mego makes it and it stretches. But I don't know what it's supposed to do when it stretches. It's just maybe one of y'all knows exactly what kind of car this is, but I had to pick it up. It says 79 through 81 TA, obviously. But pretty wild. I don't know much about it, so I don't know what the deal is, or maybe it's missing something. But for $1, I went and picked it up because I had never seen one. So if any of y'all know what that is, y'all let me know in the comments. Pretty cool. Let's see what's going on over here in the comments. We'll get Forrest is here. What's up, Forrest? So, but anyway, if y'all know what any of that like that is, let me know. Also, I think we talked about this a little bit last week. I actually found this. Unfortunately, everybody knows the news of Hulk Hogan after Ozzy. 2 days later, we got Hulk. Got a couple Hulk pieces. Got like WrestleMania Nintendo game, and then got an original WWF bag I've got hanging over on the other side that y'all have seen my toy videos. Y'all see it. So kind of crazy week there for all the kids that grew up in the 80s. So, but anyway, so I guess y'all want to start. We'll get started with the Baja Bugs, or we want to get started with the convertibles. Y'all just let me know how y'all want to handle it. I'm gonna get another drink. It's cooler down here. We got an air conditioner in now, but I've got another one to put in on this other side. So, or if there's anything y'all want to talk about, but um, if y'all want to go, we'll look at the. We can look at the Baja Bugs. That's one of the things I have wrote down on my list. I didn't get a chance to find the very 8, but I have Baja Bugs, Baja Breakers written down, and I've got convertibles and revealers. Now, I didn't get any of the revealers done. Got to go to the shop for that. Like I said, it's been a couple of days. It's been crazy. Water main going out, middle of moving stuff around in the house and straightening that out. So, but anyway, not trying to make excuses, just what's going on. We'll start with the convertibles real quick. Um, I'll show you this book here. This was the book of Boys' Toys from 1990 from Mattel. And the reason I decided that this would be cool because first page here, this is basically 1990. Now, I don't really collect most 1990 stuff, but right off the bat, you've got your convertibles page. And this is going to have pictures of a lot of prototype styled stuff in it. And then the next page shows all the convertibles from 1990. It was a 1-year only deal. And if people aren't familiar with the convertibles, they're basically color changers. But whenever they change colors from hot to cold, they actually convert into different things. And like the engines will pop up and the motors or something will be shown and the tops will go up and down. Stuff like that. So thought that was pretty cool. So I went ahead and pulled that magazine. And then you can see this is something that I don't have. I'm wanting to find this because I've not seen this before. I've got the one that's called the car wash for the color changers, but this one's actually a green version compared to the other version that's got the body shop. Now I'd like to try to find that still. Then you get into your power commands. I really like those. I've got quite a few of them. I didn't go out hot and heavy and collect them. Like I said, 1990 was the cusp of where I shut off. And you get into California Custom and stuff. But I wanted to show you all that. But anyway, the convertibles. Let me grab this package in the back here. So this was a pretty cool pack with the convertibles in it. Like I said, this is dated 1990, right there on the back. But you got your Cal Customs, obviously, and then you've got your 3 convertibles. And I want to think that these 3 colors were exclusive to this set, but I could be wrong because the 57 Chevy I've got up here is a little different color than this one, I believe. It's got the same paint. And it might be just because it's changed, but there's that one. And then you've got some power commands here, and those were like pullback cars where you blow, and then you would blow that back wing down and it would take off. So it's a cool little 9-car gift set. And then we'll get so this was the set that I did collect. I've got a few more of these. I've got probably there's another box somewhere up in the shop that's full of these things. And because I used to buy them just because a lot of people wanted them. Obviously, if you're into bugs, you want that one. It's called the Engineer. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's a Volkswagen bug. And then there's the back. Let me show you the back there so you can see all the different. There was 4 cars in each set. The Roadsters, the Rexters, and all that. But that's the Volkswagen. And you've got the very cool there. It's like a stalker. Let's see if you can see that or not. It's kind of hard to see focused. That's the stalker. Then you've got your 57 Chevy, which they're calling the shifting 50s. And then the last one's called Double Duty. It's the Camaro. But anyway, that's the packaging they come in, this package. And then they can also come in that 9-pack. Let me lay that back there. Well, I say I want to. And then, like, here's the 57. You can see that the engine pops up on it. Like, it'll color change, and then the engine will come up, and then it'll go back down. And then the same thing with the Camaro here. Whenever it color changes, the engine will come up and back down on it. And then there's the taxi. The whole top goes up and down on the taxi. So anyway, that's called convertibles. There was 12 total, I think. And that's kind of just a rundown on some of them that I have with me today. I have more up in the shop with like the S10 truck and stuff like that, but I don't have them down here, so I'll have to hunt them. I'll as I find them, I'll definitely bring them down, and we'll do a better trip on those. And we'll get started next on probably the bugs. Let me get back with the chat real quick and see where we're at. Now let's see, where am I at? Let's bug out. All right, we'll hit the bugs. Hey, what's going on? Eddie's here. Good afternoon. Everybody saying hi to Eddie. So anyway, so the Baja bug, I got the Baja bug out, the Baja breakers. And like I said, if there's anything y'all want to talk more about or anything, y'all can put it in there in the chat too. If I can't get to it today, obviously we'll go to over it next week. Still got the Variate I'm hunting because I know I've got one somewhere. Because Deborah had asked about a Corvair, and that's the only Corvair that Hot Wheel made. But we'll start off with, I don't know if where the best place to put that is. I don't know if y'all can see that there or if it's focused enough. But anyway, the first Baja Bugs was the yellow, and this one's the white hub, and these come out in 1984. And then so you had the white hub, then you had the gray hub. See if I can get that to focus in some. Then you got the white hub here. I mean the gray hub, and I've got two of them because kind of hard to see on there, but you got two different colors. This is more of a darker stripe on the whatever blue purple, and this is a light purple. It's the reason that I have two of those there. Then this ain't the best example, but it's okay. It gets you by. But this is a 1985 release with the same tempo as the yellow. And then, of course, they had also 1985. They ended up releasing the other red with the flame. And it's in pretty nice shape. But then they went into the flame with a blazing bug written on the side, which is pretty popular. They run blazing bug on all the rest of them all the way through 1990. But there's your two different paints on the 85. And then there's the black one. I was looking for my 3-pack. I thought it was over here on the table, but I don't see it over there. This is a 3-pack exclusive, the black Baja Bug with the flames. So pretty tough to find a lot of times. In good, I mean, this one's not bad. It's got a few chips, but I do have one in the package. And the only way to get that one was the 3-pack stamper pack. And matter of fact, it come out in 1984. Then we got to jump to 1987. I'll put these back up here, then we'll get on to the white ones. All your white ones come out, I believe, in 1987 was the year that the white ones come out. I'm talking this. The black one was 85. I don't know if I told you that or not. Then they come out with the white hubs here, and this one has the two different blazing bug. Same thing as the last one. It's the color of the blazing bugs are different on these two. It's kind of hard to see on here, I'm sure, but you know, in person you can kind of tell the difference between them. Trying to get them where you can actually see them back there, but I don't know if you can see. I've still got to work on the focus on this. I apologize for that. So those white ones, they started to come out in 87. All the Real Rider versions did, and all the white ones did too, I believe. So there's your white. You've got two different blazons written there on the side, and then you also have two different bases on these white ones too. You start getting into your Baja Bug written across this one, and where this one has a date bar instead of a name on it. So you got two different bases on that one, on the white. And then you get into so whoop, wrong one. Yeah, there's you two different blazing bugs written. One's a dark and a light. That's a different color than this one. I don't know what you call the color there. And then this one's completely different because the base, this one's not in great shape. So I'm still hunting. I know I'm hunting this one. I actually got it marked to hunt this one. But if you'll look at the base, they put a Hot Wheel tampo up top on the base of this one. And this one doesn't have, you know, it's got it wrote out Baja Bug and Malaysia. And this one, they took the date bar out, put Malaysia straight on the base. And then they put, there we go. Maybe that's good there. It's got the Hot Wheel tampo up on top, where this one has the name written out. And then it's got a date bar with the Malaysia, and this one's got a flat Malaysia. So I'm still looking for this one with the, shouldn't be that difficult to find. I just hadn't really thought about looking for it till I was looking at them today. And then we get into the color racers, which is the next one. And the color racers are a little bit, I like color racers. That was one of my favorite things growing up playing with. 1988 on these. If y'all can see how much difference there is in the color on these. But quite a bit of difference in the two colors on this one. And you can see the Baja Bugs written on this one, and this one doesn't have Baja Bug written on it at all on the back. Thought that was kind of neat. These both are really nice shape, but I just thought that was cool. The Baja Bug didn't get written on that one. And these are, like I said, these are almost blister pool condition. Really nice. Then you have the next release, which was the darker one, and this one actually come out in 1988 also, but it was just a darker color. Same exact casting, just different, you know, you got the dark and then you got your light. Then this one come out. This one come out in 1989. And this one's a metallic version, like a different, you can probably tell a different color in that. And it's a metallic compared to solid color. A lot of variations on the color changers if you get into collecting all the color changers. And then I've got two of the 1990 red versions. And I got two of them, and they have two different bases, and they've got two different color. There again, they're two different colors. One's a dull red, a little bit more played with, and one's a bright red, but then you've got two different bases also. You've got a I'll see if I can get it. This one's got a Hot Wheel Tempo base where the other one has the name written out, or the date bar up there on that one. So I have some of these more mint somewhere up in the shop because these actually come on like, I got these are international release on some things, and I also got them on a hat. And I think I got a Frisbee with one hanging on it, but they were like baggy cars. So let me get back over to the chat. And that's all of the Baja Bugs from 1984, well, since release to 1990. I know they made more after 1990, but 90 was kind of my cutoff date on what I collect. I think everybody kind of knows that. But let's go back over here to chat real quick. Forrest asks, what are the cars that flip, push down, and flip them over to make a northern car? So basically, car depending on what it is up and in. What are the cars that the top pushes down and you flip them over to make a northern car? So basically, to car depending on what up and info. I'm not 100% sure, Forrest. I'll have to look into that. We went over flip outs last week. I don't think you're talking about that. I'm not 100% sure. Let me move on over, move on down. Need a little bit more info on that one, or I'll do some research on it. I'm gonna write it down. Let's go on down here. All those bugs look awesome. Yeah, I do like the Baja bugs. I did like that casting. I do like the casting. It's just like I said, 1990 was the cutoff on everything. All the Teresa, what's up? She said her husband just bought her the Baja. I'm guessing the yellow with the white hub. So that's cool. That was the very first ones that come out. They had gray and white hubs. First Real Rider time they put it Baja Bug out was in Real Rider, which is pretty cool. James is here. And then we're caught up on the chat. So Randy says super nice. I appreciate it. So like I said, this is all the Bajas. Oh yeah, I got one more Baja. Of course, I didn't open this, but I just happened to be moving some stuff around. I saw this set. It's got the Baja Bug. It's got a couple of, actually 3 cars that I used to collect heavy. The Baja Bug, the Bronco, of course, the Nissan. I've got those still out over here. The Nissan 4x4, and then you've got the Suzuki Samurai, and then the Suzuki Quad Racer there to make that full set of Trailblazers. And I'm trying to remember what year this set come out. 1987 there. So kind of curious on what base is on that one. Obviously, I'm not going to open it to find it out. It's too nice. And these packages are getting tough to find in this kind of shape. It's pretty nice, clear plastic bubble. So just to go over that real quick, that's kind of what Baja Bugs I had. Like I said, right here they went across through there. There's a dead spot up there. That's where all the Baja Bugs were. I lay all my cars out like whatever year they come out, and then whatever I get to that cast, and I run them out from first to then. But then I also, if they're renamed into a different year, I put them in whatever year as they come out instead of putting them all together. Got a weird way of doing it, I'm sure, but anyway, it's just the way mine is. Ferrari on one side looks like BMW convertible on the other. The flip outs, I think they're called flip outs. I think that's what you're talking about, Forrest. Uh, I may have some of those packaged, but I think I have the ones that are called flip outs, and Hot Wheels released. I think Hot Wheels released some, and I think Matchbox or let me think. Somebody else released some of those too because I had a full set of the ones that flip over and be a completely different car and flip back over and be a different car on the other side. Not flip outs. What are those called? I know what you're talking about. I'm going to write it down. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think of where one is right off the bat because I do have some carded ones of those. Um, there, I wrote it down. Flip over cars. I'll find them and real quick. Uh, all right. So I do need to do some research on that. I can't remember the name of them. I do have some somewhere. I don't know if I've got some in my um, box back here or not. From when I was a kid. Um, I've got some of the stuff I had when I was a kid, the toys I played with, and I know that I played with those. They're right, some of them are right here, but I don't see one of those right there in that box. I got one more box to look at real quick. I'll try to be quick. This is one that I had when I was a kid that I found. I think this is what you're talking about. And the other side, it flips over like that, and it pushes it up. You flip it back over when it hits something, and it turns into a different car. I think that's what you're talking about, Forrest. And like I said, this was one that I had when I was a kid. I was looking for a name on it, but I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this may be what you're talking about. And I do have some of these somewhere in the package. I have to hunt them down and find them. There's a Ferrari, and then that's supposed to be a hot rod. That was another one I had when I was a kid. All these are that I had right out of my box over here. I've got a tackle box full of cars I had when I was a kid, and these are mine that I played with. There's the this one's a Firebird, which is pretty cool, and then the other side turns into a police car. You know, till you mentioned those, I'd actually forgot about them. I ain't looked at them in a long time. But you're right. Flip them over and they turn into a different car completely. So, forgot all about those. I thought I'd look and see if I had any more. I don't see none right off the bat. I don't want to sit there and dig for 30 minutes. But anyway, uh, I apologize. I can't remember the name of some of that stuff, but man, I remember those whenever you started talking about flipping to do different cars. I forgot about them, and like I said, these were my personals, and I've got some of these in the package. Like I said, I'll try to find them. I wrote them down. I'll try to find them. We'll go over some of those. But anyway, sorry about that. Says wild if you had them right there. Yeah. Eventually, I'd like to get everything out to where, but I had 3 different ones. How many different ones do you know? I think there was 8. I believe I've got one set of 8, but I can't remember if those were the Hot Wheels set because there was another brand. I want to think it might have even been Lionel. Somebody like that made them. They're just like these, but they were a different brand besides Hot Wheels, and I've got them somewhere. I'll try to hunt those down. But anyway, Deborah says Ricky said they were flippers, so that's probably the name of them. I had forgot about them until you just said. It's kind of wild though, because as soon as you started saying flip over different cars, then and they put a Hot Wheel out like this, had they not? In the last, of course, I don't think it actually flips up and the body flips, but it's like a F1 car or something you can flip over. That Hot Wheels just put out, I think. But anyway, sorry about the tangent, but that's cool. Like I said, I completely forgot about those bad boys. So I guess we'll go on over to the Baja uh, Breakers if y'all want to go over to the Baja Breakers. And this is not all the Baja Breakers. I have more. And so the very first Baja Breaker that come out was the gray version, and it come out in 1978. And there's a couple of variations on that one too. But and then The green ones come out in 1980. And I've got 3 different greens up here. Because if you look at the green on this one, it's going to be, it's twice as light as the green on this one. And then you've got, let me see if I can show you this. Then you've got the other one here that's got 2 different bases on it. One's got a Hong Kong, one's got a Malaysia base. So that's your different variations on the green. Then, of course, you go to your green that we talked about last week some, which is the hard to find olive. And then I want to show you this on this olive one with olive tampo. This is crazy right here because this is not a real one. And I bought this on eBay years and years and years ago because the guy put it up like, you know, this was the picture I got. And he put a buy it now on it, and I didn't realize. I seen the olive tampo, but I didn't realize he didn't have it in his description, but he didn't have it in his title, but in his description, very last word says custom. And I didn't read that. And so I bought that years ago, and I just wanted y'all to see how, of course, he only had a few pictures, but I never looked at the picture on the back. It's all my fault because here's the back of it. I just want to let y'all know so y'all be careful out there. Ask a couple questions before you start trying to buy. Now, obviously, this was not a very expensive car when I bought it, but I ripped it out of the package because I don't want somebody to be fooled by that. But they didn't even take the time to customize the other side at all. They painted that one, and they poorly applied tampos too. And like I said, I bought it years ago. He had it in a pack, and this is a foreign looking pack, and they even had enough thought to take a sticker, put it on, and then pull it back off. Like I said, they had it advertised, everything except for the very last word in the description that said it was a custom, and I didn't realize it. So I just don't want people, I keep it because I don't want people to fall for stuff. If you're not sure, ask for more pictures if you're ever buying anything either on eBay or off any of the Facebook groups. Just a FYI, they're out there, and it looks pretty good until you get it in your hand. So let me get back over here to the chat. We'll get back on to these. Like I said, the real olive, tough piece to find. This one's not mint, but it's in a shape that I don't, you know, if I find a better one, great. If I don't, it's not that big a deal to me on that one. Indicap, yeah, thanks guys. So then we get into the orange. Now the orange release was released in '83. Now you also got to realize that the orange release was released in the package, and it was released at McDonald's. Now I'm not 100% saying for sure, but I believe the McDonald's releases were a whole lot lighter orange than the regular release. And if y'all can pick that up, this one here is the lighter orange. This is a darker orange. Most of them you see out there are darker orange, but anyway, this one's really light. And I'll show you this one here too. So, and this one looks like a repaint over the green. I don't know if y'all can see it bleeding through right there underneath the tampo. It's pretty awesome. I've not seen too many of these where it looks like they actually repainted like back in the day. It looks like it used to have the green. I wish y'all could see that. I don't know if y'all can or not. But if you look under the tampo right there, you can kind of see the green looking coming through the orange. So that's why that one's in the collection. But you've got a light and a dark. And then you've also got Hong Kong, Malaysia bases on these. And those were '83 releases. Then you get into your orange Real Riders. And these come out in '83 also. And then it's hard to see on here, but there is a light and a dark on it also. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm trying to get it to where you can focus. I've actually got a TV on behind me, so maybe I can tell my focus a little better. but it's a light and a dark on your Real Rider. That's the gray hub there. Pretty cool. Then you got the black. The black ones come out in 1984 with the gray, and there's a white hub. Now, the reason I've got two of these is I've got two different bases. One's got a Malaysia with a date bar, and one's got a Malaysia flat on the base. And also, the Hot Wheels on this one and the Hot Wheels on this one is almost in a big block, and this one's a flat. So, two different bases on the black one there with the gray hubs. Stuff you don't see a lot of that listed in books and stuff, but it's out there. And then you go into your wide hub here, and this one is not mint. This is the only one I have of this one I know. This is a tougher piece to find if you're looking for them out there. This is a tough one with the wide hubs. I think everybody kind of knows that. A lot of people fake these, so you got to kind of be careful on that. Then 1987, they come out with the basic wheel. And then you got your two different you got your basic wheels, and then you've got two different bases on it. You've also got a Malaysia date bar and a non-date bar. So you're going to find out a lot of that kind of stuff in the 80s. Is going to be a lot of date bar, non-date bar stuff. And then they went over to these are the construction wheels that they put out on it too. It's the exact same. Got the black, and then you got into construction wheels, and those come out in 89. The one with the construction wheels. And they've got a different base on them than the basic wheels does too. And then 1989 also, this was released. And then they also packaged one of these. Whenever they started numbering, I think they had this one in package 10 also. But got the ATV there. And I think it's got two different wheels on this also. But yeah, that's got a different base on it also. So I've got a couple of those in a pack somewhere laying around. I was looking at them earlier. Oh yeah, right here. That one's dated 1988, so 1989 is when that would have come out on the Trail Busters. And then there's also a packaged. I've actually got a few of these black vans packaged like that. I've actually got a couple more laying over here that I'd bought, I guess, a while back. Kind of hard to pass them up if you get a good deal on the. Looks like the A-Team, yeah, I agree. That's another reason I really like that on the Baja Breaker. Then, this one actually was released. This is one of the scene machines. This was the motocross. And, of course, it's, you look in the back, and it's a motocross scene in the back of the scene machine there. Then you've got the other scene machines called the Circus Cats here, which has got the Ringling Brothers Circus there on the side. And got a scene machine on the back. Of course, you notice that most of these hoods are popped up. You start trying to mess with them too much, they'll eventually break off. So I just leave mine popped up like that. You'll notice that on most of the ones. But try to close them. If they'll stay closed, I'll leave them. If they won't, then you go over to, I actually just had all the tattoo machines loose, and I've got them, and I've got the sets like this also. And I just thought, but anyway, this one was called Open Wide. And it basically, that's all about. And it's still got the scene machine back window, but there's no scene in this one. So, but anyway, the ones that I did not, for some reason, I don't have out on display here. I've got them somewhere, probably up in the shop. You remember the Simpsons come out with their van, the Waste van. in the same casting. It had it was blue with blue and yellow. Um, some of them had wide stripes on the side for the variation. Some of them had thin stripes on the side. And then they had 3 different wheels of each. So you had like 6 variations to get that all of them on that one um, van. It had the construction wheels like this in chrome. Then they had the construction wheels like this in yellow, and they had the construction wheels like this in white. So time you get wide and thin stripes and all 3 different wheels, then you've got 6 cars to get that variations on that. And that's pretty much the Baja Bugs that I've got out to go over today. I had all the classic ones and the ones that like regular packaged ones and stuff like that, but I decided, like I said, 1990 was my cutoff on most of the stuff. Even though I love the Baja Breaker, it's a great casting, one of my favorites when I was playing with when I was growing up. But you kind of get to the point where you got to select what you want and what you don't want, that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm just rambling today about stuff. So anyway, that takes care of all the Baja Breakers and Baja Bugs that I have today to go over. So anyway, what else y'all want to talk about? I didn't get a chance to get the revealers out. I will try to get those out next week if possible. The Simpsons vans, the big van and all 3 of the Simpsons, the 2 different Simpson castings that come out had 2 different scenes, but each one had the same scene, if that makes any sense. Each casting had one scene, and that's the scene they used. They just had 3 different wheels, and they had 3 different wheels on the actual big combat. I call it the combat medic casting that it come out on. If that helps for us. That reminds me, you got a toy show this weekend on Saturday. Middle Tennessee Toy Shows this Saturday. I plan on being there. Then all next week is a 127 World's Longest Yard Sale. I don't know if any of y'all watched the video this week. It was basically a recap from last week's video. Last year's video. I happen to have all the raw footage of it left, so I went ahead and re-released it because a lot of people's been asking about the 127 stuff coming up, so I just wanted to re-release that video. And I added some of my favorite stuff to do on the insides of them. So that's why you got that video this week. I'm working on the Nashville Flea Market video right now. I know it ain't all. And then we got the toy show coming up this weekend. I don't know. And then the 127 all next week. I have a list of stuff coming up. We'll go over that in a minute. I do not have any new Beat 16, James, not yet. I'm hoping to start back. Maybe I'll find some at the toy show this weekend. But we are working on that still. But we're still doing the Beat 16. I know it takes a little bit of time. Got lucky there for a little while and was finding them every weekend going to shows. Maybe I'll find one this weekend, but we are still 6 in. We got $61.50 left to get the last 10. And we'll go over them again. The Fleet line, we got 5 in it. Let's see if I can get it up here. The Camaro, maybe you can see them a little better now with a better camera here. Got the Camaro there. I know it's rough, but I gave 15 for it because I knew that was going to be probably the most expensive, believe it or not, that. And then the next one I thought would be the most expensive, which I got for 5, which was awesome, was the Custom Mustang. It's got all 4 wheels and it's got the hood on it. I got it for 5. We got our Silhouette. Let's see if I can see it better there. We got our Silhouette. We got $1.50 in that one. We got our Python there. And we got $2 in that one. And then I went ahead and paid up on the Barracuda. I wish it had the hood. I mean, this is a really nice car. It's missing 2 wheels and the hood, but I gave 10 for that one. So right now we've got $61.50 left to hit our Beat 16 challenge, and I'm hoping to try to start getting some more of these and finishing this up, because obviously when we get done with this, we're going to I'm going to send this out to one of y'all. I'm going to, obviously draw, and it's going to go out, and one of y'all are going to own the Beat 16. And I hope we can finish it for less than $100. That's our goal. Give it away on here, and that's going to be exciting. I'm excited just to finish it up, just to see what we end up spending. And then it's going to be fun to give it to one of y'all so y'all can, put it up or enjoy it or whatever y'all want to do. Deborah said she sent a picture. Let me see if I can find my phone. Oh, there you go. She sent a picture of the flippers there. And I think the one she sent me a picture of might be this one. I don't know. But there it is for sure. Flippers. And the thing that I remember about these packages, they were so big. They're like as big as the convertibles, but they're right in the middle. So, in the way that they were stacked in the cardboard, they all just, the ends would curl. So, anyway, that's cool. Yeah, that's exactly, Flippers was the name of them, but they also had some of another off-brand that made the exact same cars that flipped over like this with the same mechanisms. And I'm going to try to find those. Like I said, I've got them wrote down to try to find. That is pretty cool. Let me go over some of these shows coming up just so that I won't forget this week about what's going on. KPS Hobbies in Florida is going on this weekend in Melbourne. I'm going to the Mid-Tennessee Toy Show. I almost went to Cars and Coffee, but I decided I think I'm going to go to the Toy Show in Antioch. But I might go by the Cars and Coffee. I don't know. I ain't 100% sure. Maybe I'll go by there afterwards. 127 Highway Yard Sale is all next week. If y'all are hunting vintage toys, cars, Hot Wheels, it doesn't matter. It's worth going out if you're into yard selling and everything. You got the toy show. The VFW's got the diecast show in August. August 23rd, we got the Central Florida Collector Fest. We got the Nashville Flea Market again in East Tennessee Hot Wheelers, August the 23rd. September 6th is the Middle Tennessee Diecast Show. Also got a Fort Myers Collector Fest, another Cars and Coffee. Got the Fall Rod Run coming up. I think my wife wrote down my dates of what I'm supposed to be trying to get to and go to. I got the Fall Rod Run to go to, and then I've got the Redneck Rumble the next weekend. I'm excited about those. If you ever get a chance to go to the Redneck Rumble, if you're into swap meets, if y'all watch that video, they've got anything and everything about you'd want, from toys all the way to cars to signs, records, whatever you're looking for, they have there. Cartersville, they're having a Hot Wheel show there. September the 21st is another diecast show in Florida. Flea market. And then September the 30th, first week of October, I'll be out in California for the Hot Wheels convention. And that's kind of what my wife's got wrote down, because she updated some of this for me this week so that I would have it to tell y'all about. So, can I see the wheels on the flippers closer, please? I don't know how close I can get them. There's a chrome and there's a white. I don't know if you can see those. I'm trying to get it where they don't. I wish I could get them to focus. I think right there is a good focus. I'm trying to get them up there to where you can see them and have a good focus. But anyway, yeah, I haven't been hunting as far as new stuff goes. Uh, New stuff's pretty cool. The Chi-Town Hustlers 100%. I do not. Um, there's not a lot of 100%s that I kept. I actually opened most of mine. I was fortunate enough to open them back in the day whenever, all the rubber bands. I haven't opened this set I just bought yet, but I bet if I open it and try to take those rubber bands off, the paint's going to be bad on the underneath. So he said he's got gold 5 spokes on here, huh? Well, that's pretty wild. Gold 5 spokes. Huh. Well, that's a different wheel than them. I thought they all had that whole wheel, unless I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. I was just making sure I was trying to keep up with the chat where we was at. Uh, anyway, I'm trying to move this around some more. I hadn't had a chance to dig all the way into this yet. Um, so we've had the water issue the last couple of days. Now we've got, and then we're moving the stuff in their house around, getting stuff moved there, redoing some pieces of the house, and just been hectic this last week. But we'll keep on moving. If right now I've still got wrote down from last week, I'm looking for a Vari-8. I've also got the revealers. If I find the rest of the convertibles, I'll bring those. And then I've got I wrote down the flippers to find those also. I'm hoping to get up there and look around up there for those this next week some. Well, I need to get that moved over here. But I write down everything that I'm looking for on here, because if I don't, I'm not for sure, but there is another brand that makes them. Like I said, I'm going to try to find them for next week. Mike's Hobby Planet, $2. I appreciate that, Mike. That's really cool. If there's any other castings y'all want to talk about, or other cars, you can. Like I said, I wish I had some more of those flippers. But I remember playing with those. And then Matchbox had a car out. Y'all remember the Matchbox cars that would come apart, and then inside of them had robots? I had some when I was growing up. I've actually seen some just a minute ago, and that's what sparked my interest. I'm trying to see if I can. It's like, here's one without the chassis on the bottom. It's a car, and then you'd pull it apart, and then a robot would be inside, and then you could, build the robot or whatever. I can't remember the name of these things, but then you'd fold it back up, and then there's a chassis. You can have it as a four-wheel drive chassis or a regular chassis going to the bottom. I was looking for one of the chassis. This black van was also one of them. This is just stuff I had when I was a kid, and it's stuff that reminded me. Oh, here's another one of those flipper cars out of my collection. So whenever those that come out was probably one of the last things. Those probably 88, 89, because those were some of the last things I remember playing with. Like I said, I've tried to find a chassis, but I can find one maybe this week. In there, I'll have to dig around. Just funny stuff like that sparks my memory. Wastelanders 57 with the Atomics mini vehicles. I have some atomic mini vehicles. That's funny you just mentioned that because, yeah, Mike's Hobby Planet's right. I'm pretty sure it was Lionel. You said that. I believe that's what it was, Mike. Um, let me let me grab. I believe I know where those comic mini vehicles are. Or the ones, some of them that I have. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I actually collected the minifigures, the atomic ones, the ones that was on the main car. But I remember, I think I was talking to Chris this week, and I was telling him about some cars that I had in here, and then sure enough, I had some the Tom Daniels 143rd scale cars, and there's the atomic vehicles there. Hope y'all can see that. But I did collect. I tried to collect every car when they first come out with the atomic minifigs on them. You said you're looking for which one? 57 Chevy. I'm hunting it. See if I've got a 57 Chevy in there with a. Now I don't see a 57 Chevy. That's all the ones of the atomic minifigs I had in there. But I do have more of these somewhere stuffed in other boxes, I'm sure, because I used to buy those. I used to go around and hunt the ones with the minifigs. I had the big atomics garage and all that stuff too. And then I've got the also in here's the 143rd scale of the Tom Daniels cars, where I had those loose. Got the black midnight editions too, or whatever, of each one, and the paddy wagon there. Those are really cool as far as shape goes. But anyway, that was in the box with those two. But I don't see the 57 Chevy right off in here, but I do know which one you're talking about. It's is that not the gray one with the skulls on the side, and each skull has a different one of the like a club, a spade, a diamond. Maybe I'm wrong on that. You'll have to tell me, James. Matchbox parasites. That's what they're called. I knew somebody know. Joe, appreciate it, buddy. Do you have any good noodle heads? I do not have, but I have a couple of noodle heads, but I don't. I never raced mine. Um, I should have bought some of those noodle heads when I seen them the other day at the show. I think I left it on one of my videos, and a guy was asking, I think $20 a piece. I should have bought all of them, but I didn't because they are good racers, and there's always people looking for those for race. I have some noodle heads, but I've never raced the noodle heads. Let's see if I'm missing up something here. Let's see. Made by Lionel, yeah. Ricky says you got to show house funny cars. I do have um, some show house funny cars. Trying to remember where they are. The show house funny cars, I think I've got it in yellow. I don't know if I've got the green one. I'll have to look. Trying to remember where they're at right now up on the wall. That's the problem. Oh, yeah, I got the green. Look, I got two yellows and a green on the show house funny car there sitting. Let me see if I can get to them real quick. If y'all don't mind for a second. Uh, but I got more somewhere. That's the problem. I don't know where they are right off. The green. And then you got Let's see if you can see that. The yellow. It's in really nice shape. It's got a few chips. It's hard to find these. Some of these flying color stuffs it's hard to find with good tempo. And this one's a little bit more got more wear than the other one does. But I kept it because there's two different color browns. Nothing crazy, but there's a couple of them there. Let's see. Let's get back over here to chat real quick. I had some too. Hugh Sunbob. I picked one up this weekend at Diecast store. Cool. Love the Daniels cars. Yeah, I do too. I was at a crane convention last month and came across 4 of those flipper seal for $3 a piece. Oh yeah, I would have definitely picked those up. I've got a set of those Lionel ones, and I've got some of the Hot Wheel ones too, but I do have a set of Lionel because a lot of people don't know about them, and I just happened to pick them up because they were cheap a long time ago, like around that $2 or $3 range. The boxes are not perfect because of the way they had to package them, but I had the whole box and everything, but I'm not sure if they're still in the box or not. Carl, what's up? Found my Tom Daniels cars the other day. Good deal. The Rat Rod school bus are cool. Yeah, the Rat Rod school bus is probably one of the best ones out of that set. I like it when they're on display. I had them on display in a, I don't know if anybody remembers Crystal Zoo. Crystal Zoo. It's called Crystal Zoo. It was basically those hand blown animals that was made out of glass you'd see at the mall and stuff. Anyway, I had a glass case that those were in for a while, and I took them out when they were on display. But it does look cool in the rat rod looking with the white walls on the school bus. No, my Wastelander has green flame tempo, small wheels in the front. Okay. I'll have to look for that. I've got some more atomics somewhere. And then I would have paid you back if you bought them. Yeah, I should have bought them because I've got people, friends that race all the time at the conventions, obviously. And y'all race at the conventions. I just didn't even think about it whenever I saw them. That's just the way. Sometimes I think about that stuff. Sometimes I don't. After I went, when you go back and watch your videos, whenever you're editing, if if you do, do this, I'm sure Chris and anybody else that does YouTube, you'll kick yourself. You're like, why didn't I ask about this? Or why didn't I inquire more about that kind of thing? So, um, but anyway, yeah. Um, I swear I got some more show houses somewhere. That's so weird that I don't have any more show houses up there. I could have swore I had 2 more. But anyway, I've got to start getting some of this stuff where it's easier to find too. And I really need to get this moved around because there's a lot of cars in here that I need to, go through. There's a lot of black walls. Well, 1989, 1990 cars are in the back of this also still. And I moved it around a little bit trying to get to some of them. Uh, but I'm going to try to get in there with something and try to rebuild the motor. New motor's like $160, but I'm thinking about trying to do a drill or something to fix the motor on that. But anyway, so what else are y'all looking for? Do I want to talk about? I've got wrote down so far for next week. I've got the Variate I'm still looking for. Um, I had the Baja Bugs today, the Baja Breakers today. I'm gonna look for those flippers, the Lionel and the others, see if I can find those. This is some of them here, 4 of them. These were all mine when I was a kid, obviously. But I'll see if I can find the package ones when I go back up to the shop. I'm still looking for my revealers. I had to get up to the shop to find those. I have an original case from Dairy Queen. I had the full case, and then I've sold them all, but I kept one full set. And I don't have every variation, but I kept one of each loose. I've got most of the variations on the revealers because I think there was 3 of every car, every color of every car. Yeah, you always see stuff that you miss when you're editing you're picking videos. It's crazy. Uh, a Hot Wheels castle. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of Hot Wheels stuff around. And you know you've got it. It's just a matter of finding it. And then the bad part is I got to get up to the shop. I've got to get that stuff out. So that way, whenever y'all do ask about something, hopefully I can put my hands on it faster and maybe not have to push it off too so much till the next week and everything. Is the motor like a sewing machine motor? Let me go back up to what we're asking about. I'm sorry, Andy. Which motor are we talking about? Oh, this one. Um, the motor is the motor and the gearbox is all built as one. Is the reason it's so expensive. You can't just buy a motor because it's all cast as one piece. This is probably, I don't know. I think this is probably late 50s, early 60s. So it's a little different build back then. Um, so what I plan on doing is I'm thinking about doing a drill motor where I can go forward and reverse my buttons still, and then permanently mount it in there because it should move fast enough. Don't want it to go too quick. I just rather have a small turn instead of having it move pretty good because you don't want the cars to shift. But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. I understood what you're saying then. I'm all over the place sometimes. Y'all have to just rein me in. But anyway, I'll sit back for a minute. If there's anything else y'all want to talk about or whatever, just put it in the comments and we'll try to talk about it. And if there's anything else you want me to look at or try to find for next week, you can put that down too, and I'll see what I can find. Gear it down, yeah. I'm going to make it. I like to make it to where it's either I like to have it a continuous turn, and then I have to be able to switch it. There's a switch up there on top where you can turn it on and off, and then also a forward and reverse. But I really don't think I need the reverse as much as I just want it on forward. So I'm just going to let it, go slow, and then when I want to stop, just flip it off and do it. Because there's a slit in the back to be able to get to the cars. I was looking at a bunch of the vans, trying to figure out how I was going to start moving these vans around to get the combis that I opened last week and the new buses that I opened to get them back down here with the combis and the buses. Uh, so I can't get those in there yet because obviously I probably have to take most of this out while I'm working on it, obviously. But anyway, sorry. Do you have a McDonald's Hot Wheels hauler? Yes, I do somewhere. I just got one. Might be in a box over here next to me. I actually got another set from Ricky and Deborah. It was part of that big box of stuff I'd bought. It's got full almost. It's like I think there was 4 or 5 haulers in there, and the McDonald's ones in there. There's like uh there's like 3 different ones. One's a Big Mac, one's a fries, and I can't remember what. I know there was 2. I thought there was 3 variations on that. Randy says got to make room. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Huntsville show September 23rd. Let me look. Let me. I don't think it's wrote down. I'll have to ask. Well, I have to get my wife to put it on the calendar because it must not be on the calendar. She don't have it wrote down here. Um, I hate to mess this up because you can actually read this one, but I'm gonna write on it. That's the shows my wife put down so far, and I'll add that one. There's probably some I always miss, but that's what's going on right now, and that kind of gets me through um, August. Yeah, James, there's one that's Big Mac, and I'm pretty sure there's one I have that has fries on the side of it also. Um, and there's also 2 different semis, I think, front ends on those too. Um, yeah, I'll have to write that down, the 27th, and I'll make sure I get that on there because I will probably try to go to that on the 27th because I probably won't go back. No, I won't either. I won't be at that one. I'm actually going to Meta on the 27th. I'll be gone that weekend. I'll be in Knoxville or Greenville, Tennessee. I'll be there probably the 26th and 27th anyway. So I probably won't be at that show. I've got a lot, almost everything booked up for the next 2 months solid of something going on every weekend. Still hunting the Beat 16 challenge, obviously, as we go. Hopefully, we'll find everything that we're looking for. We got off to a quick start, and then I've been to a few car shows, but not found any bread lines. Obviously, Beat 16. Maybe Coke was the other one. Seems like I have one with a Coke. I've not seen one for us with a Coke on it. I'm pretty sure fries. I'm pretty sure Big Mac, but I thought there was a third. But I might be thinking of the Big Mac may be on two different haulers with the two different front ends. But I do have some of those. I actually got the one of them from Ricky. It was in that stuff I bought from him. I'll have to find that stuff because I've got it. I think I've got some up in the shop also. Because that was also one of the years they had the hauler with the wrong ear on it era that I went over. Went over them in a video probably a year ago or so now. I'll have to hunt them. I know I've got them somewhere. It's just a matter of finding them. Just like anything else. I'm gonna write it down though, and I'll try to as I going through. It'll remind me to hunt for that. But anyway, anything else y'all want to talk about or just want me to hunt for? I don't mind. Like I said, I'm just today. It's like I said, it's been a hectic week, so I didn't know. I didn't get everything I wanted to get out today, but I did get quite a bit of it. I feel like still a pretty good show, and to go over the Baja stuff here. And next week I'll try to go over some of this other stuff I've got wrote down. But AMC Gremlin Redline definitely do. Just a matter of where it's at on the wall. It's just like everything else. My red lines stop over here on the Giovanni's on this wall. They start over there in a 6-foot tall case, spinning case. They go all the way down to here, and then, of course, black walls finish here, and then on up behind me here. Trying to remember where it's at on the wall. Let me see if I can move this around so y'all can see the wall. Some of the wall. Can't really see it. It's just a reflection, but that's one of the walls there that I'm talking about. So whenever I'm looking around and going, what's over here? I'm looking for it. That's why I'm looking at that stuff. So anyway, sorry about that if y'all get crazy. I do have the AMC Gremlin in green and chrome. I know I've got them up there. I'll pull them down. See if I can pull them down now, if I can find them. I know I've got them green and then the chrome. And I've got a black wall. And I think I may have that one in the Japanese box too, the Gremlin. Y'all remember the red Japanese boxes? I'm going to write it down. I'll pull them down. Grease Gremlin Redline. AMC, yeah, the Gremlin. So I wrote that down too. Gremlin Redline. Not Grease Gremlin. I don't know why. Grease Gremlin, but the AMC Gremlin Redline, yeah. I do have it. I do have them, and we will definitely be. I'll definitely try to pull them down for next week. Got it wrote down on the paper. Got some stuff to hunt this week. I'm hoping. I'll have to do it this rest of this week and into this weekend. Next Monday starts 127. I'll be out pretty much every day hunting for those. Ever seen the Acceleracers line? Yeah, matter of fact, I have. I've actually sold most of mine. I kept the prototypes. I do have a few Accelerator prototypes over there. Um, I can pull those out. I really like collecting prototype stuff. Trying to see. I don't know if there's an Accelerator prototype in this box back here or not. I don't think I don't think the Accelerator one's in here. I know I have a two Accelerator prototypes over there. Um, I'll have to hunt it in that case over there. Uh, but yeah, I have some of them. I done drug the whole thing around here, catching it with. The Grease Gremlin was a Hefferny's, and it was the green one that was with the yellow writing Hefferny's on the side. I'm pretty sure. Um, I'll uh, I'll write down the accelerators. Uh, like I said, I do have a couple prototypes left of them. I keep the prototype stuff just because they're so hard to get. I wrote those down. Yeah, I had them all. They started selling like crazy back a few years ago. They were clearance. Me and Daddy bought them. He could tell you. We were buying them for, I think they were less than 50 cents a piece or right at 50 cents a piece in the stores when they first started coming out. Um, and whenever they started coming out and then they clearanced them, we bought all of them because people were cutting the wheels off of those Acceleracers because they were the first ones to have the cold mold wheels. A lot of people were cutting them for customs back in the day. And I ended up buying I've got a couple of, like I said, I got a couple of prototypes left, but I bought all kinds of them because they had the blue wheels with the gray hubs and stuff. And like I said, people was customizing them. Well, I found a box of them a couple of years ago when I was going through a lot of stuff up at the shop and realized they were pretty good money then. Now they're really good money. So I traded them all a couple of years ago. Forces, good night, everybody. Ricky says, good night. Yeah, I'm about to call it here in a minute. Never seen a prototype in real life. Yep. That's what most of this stuff back here in this case is all prototype stuff. And then I've got a bunch over there in another 6 foot case. Um, but I like getting something like whenever I do a casting, I start trying to hunt prototypes for that casting. So Turtle Slayer says they collected them in 2022. Oh, okay. So after they started becoming bigger again, I guess. Um, so But anyway, I will right now. What I've got wrote down, I'm gonna look for McDonald's haulers. I'm gonna pull down the Gremlin red lines. I'm gonna try to get the Solar Racer Protos. Looking for the Variate for the Corvair Hot Wheel. I know I've got some somewhere. I've got the flippers wrote down, and I've still got convertibles wrote down. So I've got quite a bit of homework to try to find for this week. So maybe we can find that stuff. But I understand a lot of that's the way. I think like the Battle Force 5 stuff's about to be for too long, and then all that because the kids that grew up with it is going to definitely be getting into it. But anyway, looks like everybody's starting to slow down. And anyway, if there's anything else y'all want to know more about or talk more about, either put in the comments here, put in the comments on the video, my Instagram. I've got the email out there. Um, if y'all have Instagrammed me or emailed me, it may take me a little bit of time to get through it because I got a ton come in a lot, and I don't sit down and physically focus on it like all the time, every day kind of thing. So if y'all do ask or message me, just it may take a day or two, but I'll eventually get around to getting back. Just a lot coming in a lot of times, and this is the easiest way for me to get to everybody is on here. But if y'all message me or Instagram or all that, I'll definitely get back. It just may take a little bit of time. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. I hope everybody has a great week and into the weekend. And we're hoping to be back here next Tuesday. So I've got a flea market video coming out this week. Got a toy show Saturday. 127's all next week. So there's no telling what I'll find there. But we'll catch you up on next Tuesday, and I can go over some of the stuff I found. Hopefully we'll find some more Beat 16 stuff, because I would like to move on with that and get some more of those for our challenge. And ultimately, I can't wait to finish it up, see what we spend in. Obviously, I can't wait to one of y'all to actually end up with it. So, but anyway.